Hello, good morning. Welcome to my Tuesday live. I'm switching things around a bit today. Let me just check that I'm in the right place before we go any further. Hopefully somebody will be joining us this morning. I'm going to be sharing some lovely new products with you today from the upcoming annual catalogue. Okay, I'm in the right place. That's always good. My eyes don't want to focus. Let me just share this to my group really quickly. So excuse me while I'm looking down. Oh, it won't let me. I'll do it later. I don't want to confuse things. It's not coming up with the usual share to a group. So I will do that later. How are we? Please do say hello if you're joining me this morning. I'm sorry that I missed last week's live. I was feeling rather under the weather. Thankfully, I am feeling much better. I'm not 100%. I'm not convinced that I'm 100%, but I am feeling much better and I'm on my feet, which is good. So a few things to chat with you about today. So I'm going to be sharing a couple of projects using the new Hand-Penned Petals, which I am in love with already. I cannot show you inside the catalogue. I can't show you anything inside there just yet, not until next week until it goes live. So morning Ellie, how are you? Nice to have you here. I've got really sore throat today, so I don't know whether I'm feeling unwell just because I've generally got a bit of a head cold or something, or whether it's connected to the infection I had last week. I don't know, but anyway, so I'm going to have to be having lots of drinks whilst I'm chatting because I get really parched when I'm chatting. Maybe it's because I'm not used to chatting because I don't see anybody all day. Jason normally leaves the house about 7, and I'm lucky if he's home by sort of 6:30. So I don't get to chat with many people. So maybe that's it. I'm just not used to it. Okay, so, and he was away last night. So, morning, Kate. How are you? It is a good morning. It's a bit cloudy here, bit grey, and I'm a bit chilly, but I don't know if that's just me. One minute I'm hot, next minute I'm cold. So, maybe my body is going through some kind of change. I'm at that age. Anyway, TMI. So yeah, so I had Evsie yesterday, which she is just adorable. So I worked a little last night. I don't know if anybody saw on my stories. When I left the studio, it must have been about 20 to 9, 8:30, 20 to 9, something like that. And I locked up and walked out and the sky was just stunning. I had to take a picture. It was setting kind of over the top of the gate. So I took this picture. It was just absolutely such a beautiful evening. So morning, Ruth. How are you doing? Okay, I don't want to talk for too long because I want to get crafting. Let me see, what do I want to talk about? So Stamp and Chat, which is what I normally do today, I'm going to be changing it up a little. So my plan moving forward is that from next month, so from May, I will still come live every Tuesday, but each month I'm going to focus on 2 stamp sets or 2 bundles, and I'm going to share everything about them. These 2 stamp sets and bundles I'm going to create as classes, so there'll be 2 class options for them. So classes in the post, that will include just kits or the product, whatever you choose. They'll be tiered. There'll be an online version only so that I can upload this live to my YouTube channel and then you can catch up through there. And I'm hoping to add PDF tutorials to those as well. So a bit of work, extra work involved in that. But I just was feeling, oh, my car alarm is going off. It's okay. Alfie's going crazy. My new car, now he's opened the door and gone out. The new alarm keeps going off and I don't know what's triggering it off. So typical, it had to go off now just as I went live. Alfie just goes crazy, obviously dogs, they're so sensitive to the noise and he gets really anxious. Even like if you're cooking and the alarm goes off, the fan, extractor fan must give off a relay. It's okay, it's all gone. It's all gone. Bless his heart, he doesn't like it. He'll settle in a minute. So yeah, he's obviously really sensitive to noise, so he doesn't like it when it goes off. But I don't know why my alarm keeps going off. I mean, we've got a neighbour close to us, but thankfully we're not like surrounded by people, because they'd be getting pretty annoyed with us by now. I don't know why it's going off. Anyway, I digressed. So I don't even know where I was talking then. I got totally distracted. But I'm going to be having 2 product-based classes with kits. Morning, Julia. Nice to see you on here. How are you doing? So I'm going to be basing 2 classes around two stamp dies punch bundles each month, and then each Tuesday I'll go live, and then I'm going to like share the heck out of those 2 stamp sets so that you can see them used to, you know, a really good potential. Rather than with my regular Stampin' Chat, I was just sharing 1 card each week, and I just think I don't have the time at the moment to go live more than a couple of times a week. So, and I really would like to, because I want to share more product with you, but it's just not possible at the moment. So I just think my Tuesday live, I'm going to focus a bit more in depth on things rather than just the 1 card. So there's still going to be that product based class attached to it, but the Tuesday live will be like an extra bonus. So right, I think I've got lots to talk about as well, so I'll probably talk a bit more at the end, but we've got the new Bouquet of Hope paper pumpkin kit, which is now live. I've got mine here, so I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into that after. We've also still got the last chance list, which is up on the website. Loads of products still available on there, and if you click on the filters, if you just click on English, it'll come up with all the English stamps. And if you just click on up to £10, anything that's up to £10, there's loads of stamps that are available for under £10. So do go over and have a look, because we haven't got long left now until that finishes and the lovely new catalogue comes our way. So what else do I want to talk about? Tomorrow, or is it today? Tomorrow is the last day to book for my 6-card class in the post, and I've got a little sneak peek about that for you as well. So I will share that after I've made my projects. And also a little heads up, I shared a memory on my Facebook page this morning from one of my retreats at the Bowden Hall Hotel. I think it was in the November 2019 event, and we had such a great time. And I've got another event booked for October. I did actually put November, but I've edited it, so it's October the 15th to the 17th this year at Bowden Hall Hotel. It's a whole weekend of crafting. You can start on the Friday night if you want to as an added extra. But everything is included. It's all included, your hotel, everything. I've got just a couple of spaces because I like to keep it quite elite and small so that it just runs smoothly. And obviously, because of the times we're going through, we have to have a limited amount of people attending anyway. So just a couple of spaces left on that. But I thought I would, because I would have had Crafternoon Tea in March. We had a date booked for that, but obviously because of COVID we cancelled, and I was going to move it on, and then I thought, let's do a whole day and have one of the Bowden Hall fabulous buffets, and I have everything crossed that there will be sausage rolls this time because they are just the best. So I thought I would create a creative escape. So it's a whole day of crafting, and we're talking 9 till 5 non-stop. You'll be getting lunch, a lovely buffet lunch. You'll have a really good goodie bag of product, new product that you won't be able to see yet, but until the 4th of May I can't share any images because we had a limited selection of items we could choose from pre-order, and the item that I want to use for this creative escape was not on pre-order, so, but it was top of my list, to be honest. So yeah, let's just say it's going to be a sweet as peach day. That's all I'm saying. So you can book for this event. I'm going to get it hopefully up on my events website tomorrow, because unless I get to it this afternoon, I've got my stamping bingo tonight by Zoom, so I'm going to be busy later preparing for that, and then obviously bingoing all evening. So the creative escape is £85 for the day, and that includes everything. You'll need to bring obviously your own toolkit, but there'll be more information coming up on that. So I'm not going to leave booking open for that long. It's going to be available on a limited number basis, so you'll need to get in there quick if you want to come to that. And there'll be an option to split the payment over the 2 months as well, so just to break it up a bit. So I'm really excited about that. So I think that's all I need to chat about. Let's get on with some crafting. I've got some lovely things to show you. Let's just move that out of the way. Right, just bear with while I switch you down to see my hand for a moment. And I always forget to move you forward. Get you straight, get the light on, wait for Facebook to catch up, zoom you in a tad, and see what's happening. I think we can go up a little bit, and then I'm going to tape you down in place. Alfie's done a runner now. I think he's sat down in the hallway by the door. Let's have a little drink while it catches up. Check out my beaker as well. I can't remember what trip I got that from. Excuse me. Okay, so I hope that I'm not going to be sniffing. I'm really a bit congested at the moment, a bit heady still, really sniffy. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just thinking like maybe I've picked up a bit of a head cold along the way. Okay, I think we are good to go. I'm just going to tilt you that way a little bit. I always do that once I've taped it down. I do it the wrong way round. So how are we all doing? There's quite a few of you on here this morning. Now, as much as I would love to just open this up and flick inside, sadly, I can't do that. Not until the 4th of May. And I'm super excited to do so. So some of these have been winging their way to some of you. I've got my annual catalogue launch party on Saturday morning. So hopefully some of you are receiving your boxes with your goodies in. And those of you that have placed regular online orders with me recently will be getting your complimentary catalogues as well. You can purchase these from me. They are £3.50 posted. But if you place an order within a certain time frame after receiving the catalogue, once it goes live, I will refund that amount for you. So it's a massive investment posting out catalogues. Obviously, I have to purchase them. I have to pay for the postage. So that's my way around doing it. And I'm just a small business. My business isn't as big as it used to be years ago. So anyway, let us bring in my basket. I'm not going to get all of this in view. I've had a few new things, move my chair out of the way. A few new things arrived the last couple of days, but today, what do I want out? Oh, I'm going to show you my blends. So these arrived. There is another one, obviously the Evening Evergreen, which is another new in colour. But I didn't get those just yet because I just thought with me and colours, I struggle using dark colours and I can't see me using the Evening Evergreen right at this moment. They will go on my next order, but I had a budget I needed to stick to, don't we all? You know, there's not a bottomless pit in my business account. And, you know, I have to be, I'm sensible with my business purchases. So I got myself the new Stampin' blends. I'm excited to use those. They would work really well for my projects today, but I'm just trying to keep it simple, which is really hard for me. My first card is quite simple for me. So let's show you the new in colours. If there's anyone joining and you've not seen these, take a look at those. How beautiful are they? So these are our new in colours. Absolutely love them. My favourites are definitely these. This is my all-time favourite, soft succulent. I just love this green. And look, it matches my mug. So I bought new mugs for the studio. Those of you that have been to events here in the studio, I had these silly white cups that were like half a cup. They were cute, but they were just not like a full size. So I saw these mugs and I've got them. And when I brought them home and matched them up, they're like a perfect match to soft succulent. So those are our in colours. Okay, I'm going to be using these 3 today, which works so lovely together. I'm going to be using some of this ribbon. This is the Pale Papaya woven ribbon. If you watched my unboxing, you would have seen this, but I'm going to be using this on my stepped up version of the card. So I'm going to make a card that's pretty straightforward, and then I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to step it up, and I'm not going to show you it until I've done it. The other product I'm using is the Bark embossing folder. This is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Then, of course, the Hand-Penned Petals. So I have uploaded to my new events website 2 classes for May. So we've got the Hand-Penned Petals and the Flowers of Friendship. 2 classes that will include just kits, or you can add on the stamps, you can add on the bundle, totally up to you. You can even just get the PDF if you want to. So as I've said, between now and the end of May, all of my lives I will be focusing on the 2 stamp sets. So today we're working with Hand-Penned Petals, which, guys, it is stunning. I'm so glad that this was on pre-order. So glad. And if you can't wait until next week to get your hands on this after seeing me play with it, you need to join my team. That's the quickest way to get them. You can add this to your starter kit. So, and I could have some news about something coming, but the website is not producing all the info, the Demonstrator website this morning, so I'm going to be sharing more about that later. Okay, morning Belle. You've been listening in while I do some house jobs, and now you're watching. Lovely to have you. Other thing I'm using is the In Colour DSP. So that's all my bits that I've been cutting. Beautiful, stunning papers, obviously, that coordinate. And what I like to do is keep all my chopped pieces just in the back. I'm going to be using some of the champagne rhinestone jewels. So I'm not going super crazy and showing you lots and lots of new products, because I need to save some of it, because I've obviously only had a limited amount of things to order during pre-order. And then again, we've got the gorgeous cardstocks that all coordinate. So this is the one reason I joined Stampin' Up, was because of the coordination. So those are the 5 new in colours. Okie dokie, let us put that to one side. So as I mentioned, I'm not going to show you what I'm creating today until it's done, so you can watch it in progress. But these are the pieces I'm using. So not a lot of pieces. So we've got some basic white with a layer here which going on the front, another basic white panel, soft succulent, which I'm hoping the light shows that, and then I've cut a couple of skinny strips of the In Colour DSP. This one's my favourite, this kind of like, what would you call that? Argyle? I don't know. Okay, quick drink. Right. If you watched my unboxing, you will have heard me talk about the new style packaging we have for our stamps. So we've still got the standard case, but the cover used to finish about here, this white paper inside that shows all the designs on. It now runs right the way through to the back, and it's printed, rather than on the acetate sheets that were in the box, it's printed directly onto that white layer under here, which means you can stick your stamps straight in to the box. Okay, let's mount up what I need. So my most favourite stamp in the set is this one here. So I'm going to pop that one on a block. So this one, absolutely love this. I'm going to be chopping this one up today. Then I also need to infill these flowers. I'm going to use this one, which you'll see goes here. And then we've got a smaller one, which is kind of like colouring in the flowers on this big outline image. And that was the other reason, obviously, for just showing you the blends, because you could, if you had coordinating blends, use the blends, Stampin' Blends to colour in these images. But for today, I wanted to show you how quick and simple it is to put this together. So we've got a couple of leaves here. And I think, let's pull out the greeting ready. Also using Memento Black. Okay, right, first of all, let us fold this one in half. I finally got my nail appointment coming up this week. And quite frankly, my nails are having a growing spurt. They're not doing too badly at the moment. But I still haven't got that hair appointment until next month. And it needs it. My hair's quite long and obviously it drags down. And when you've got a bit of bleach in there, it gives it a bit of lift, doesn't it? Those of you that have highlights. Dare I say, I'm seeing a few greys in there, which is slightly worrying, but nothing we can do about it. So base is folded in half, pop that to one side. Now, first of all, I'm going to use my lovely bark embossing folder and I'm going to run this through and then I'll give you a closer look at it. So this one goes through on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You have your base plate, then so just number one, then you have your embossing folder, and because this is a 3D, it's a very thick textured embossing folder, we just have this, and then we pop the grey number 4 plate on top. But a little tip, whenever you are embossing, make sure the fold goes through your machine first. Otherwise, it will encourage your folder to split and open up into 2 pieces over time. If you send it through this way, what happens is it moves the layers. Does that make sense? So by putting it through with the 2 open ends, it will maybe push the top piece in a bit before the bottom piece, and then it causes the spine to get damaged and break. So always remember that. So that's a little tip. So I'm just going to run that through very quickly. Oh, it's nice to be back. I really missed you last week, chatting with you all. And although I did say that I might try and get back on in the week, it just didn't happen. I didn't feel great all week, to be honest. Look at that. How gorgeous is this embossing folder? Okay, I'm going to hold it back in so you can jot down that item code and pop it on your wish list, because it's great. It's going to be so usable. Also, how much is the stamp set? Stamp set is £20, so absolutely great value. You're going to get so much use out of this. Today, I'm only using this stamp. You've got this gorgeous stamp. You've got all these flowers here that will work brilliantly as backgrounds. You've got this lovely little image here. And also, I haven't even shown you the dies. This is the die set that goes with it. So that little last image I was talking about, you've got this little die that cuts it out. The stamp that I'm using, that large stamp, you've got an outline one that cuts it out there. And you've also got this really intricate, pretty die there that I've been using as well on some projects. I absolutely love this. Going to be using that in a bit as well. So it's a fabulous set. 14 dies in there, £28. But of course, when you buy them as a bundle, you save 10%. So but do take a look on my events website because there's lots of options. Other thing, no, I'll show you that in a minute. I'm getting excited now, can you tell? I just love creating with this set. So this is the bark embossed layer. So we're going to pop that just to one side for the moment. Let me put my card out so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's do a bit of stamping. Let's bring in my mat. And this is the scrap piece that I've cut ready. Now I'm going to take my Memento ink. If you're just joining, please do say hello. Love to know who's here. So I'm just going to ink this up. Bit of a wobble. Make sure I get a good coverage. I'm going to do this twice because I need one for my other project. Oh, it's just beautiful. I mean, this image coloured with Stampin' Blends. Let's see whether I can squeeze you in there. Is going to be stunning. I cannot wait to have a go with that. Okay, so I've just inked up those two. Now, this set is what I would call, it's a bit artistic. So basically what I mean by that is that when you infill, these infill stamps, so this one is designed to go over here, it's not exactly a fit. So it's not an exact match of that flower, which means that you get kind of like an arty kind of finish. It's not precise, so it's forgiving when you're stamping. You can just kind of go wild with it and not worry about it because it's not designed to all fit together. So let's start with some inking. So I'm going to use the Pale Papaya for my flowers, and then the Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen on the leaves. Let's put you out of the way. I'm going to be using those two in a moment. I don't think they're in your view. So I'll do both of them together and then I'm going to die cut them out and then I'm going to do a bit of trimming because I'm not using the whole image. So I'm going to have a full strength one on this large flower. Now you'll see what I mean by it doesn't fit exactly when I stamp it. Can you see you've got like a white edge? I like that look. If you are OCD like me, I mean, I've not got an OCD problem. I just like things to be just so. That doesn't really bother me. It's part of the look. It's supposed to look like that. So let's do the other one. Then, excuse me, take the next size down flower, which is this one. And we'll do another full strength just in there. And I think, shall I use the small one? Let's see how, this is the medium and this is the small. I think I'll use the small one on that one. Then for the other flowers, this one I think I will do, does it go that way? Do that one full strength. And we'll have a full strength one there and then just stamp it off directly next door. So we've got a really pale image on that one. So we'll have a full strength one there and then stamp it off next door, and then the others I'm just going to randomly infill with pale. Now if you look up at that closely you can see it just looks like a splodge, but it's part of the look. It's all part of the look. Now for the leaves, so we've got two separate like infill stamps for the leaves. So a larger one and a smaller one. So let's start with the Evening Evergreen first. It's a lovely deep green. And we'll start with the large one. I'm just going to do one of the large leaves with this. Am I close enough in? Might just zoom a little bit. And then the smaller leaf, let's turn it that way. We'll just do a couple with that one. Like that. Quickly just clean those off because I want to now do the other leaves in the soft succulent. So a little wipe off. Make sure they're dry. And I'm going to move this one out of the way just so that I don't go into it by mistake. And then I'm using the soft succulent just to go in and do the other leaves. This is my favourite image in the whole set. That one and that one. And then the large leaf, we've just got one leaf left. One leaf left. Bit of a mouthful. So there you go. So you can see it's very, you don't have to be precise. It looks, when I'm looking through my phone, it doesn't look like you can really see a difference between the stamped off. I don't know if you guys can see that, but in real life, it is. So ink pads are closing up for the time being. And I'm hoping I haven't cut this too close. Let's just stamped it too close even. I'm going to snip off that bit. I can use that later. And bring in my plates. Treated myself to a new plate. It's spanking. Look, you can hardly see it. So we'll pop that one down. Bring in the dies. So these are the penned flowers, and I just want this outline one here. Bit of washi tape just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Got a bit of a wobble going on here. And just lay this one down, line it in. Tape it down. Oh, where's my top plate gone? Bit of a bendy top plate. And then I'll just run that through really quickly, and then I'll do the other. So I hope you all had a nice weekend. It was glorious weather, wasn't it? Ours was really, really hectic again. Really hectic. Jason worked the whole day on Saturday, and we really needed to just get a quick overnight stop off in the new motorhome to give it, you know, to try it out really before we go anywhere far in it. Not that we're going to go a million miles away, but you know, just to get the heating, to suss everything out. And I have to say the bed was really comfortable. But it was a bit of a quick, we headed over to Malvern. It was a bit of a quick decision. We had planned nothing because the whole week had just been a bit crazy. So we had nothing planned. Thankfully, my mum and dad guided us in the right direction of some sites on the Caravanning Club. Because obviously we've had our other motorhome, the RS, for years since, well, we've always had motorhomes for like the last 20 years. We've had motorhomes, but we've really only ever gone to motocross races in it. So never really taken it to a campsite because the ones we've always had have just been really a bit too big for campsites. They're not really been touring motorhomes. So anyway, to cut a long story short, Mum and Dad pointed us in the direction of Malvern, which isn't far from here. So we tried ringing ahead but couldn't get through to anyone. So we got to this campsite that looked beautiful and it was full, which every campsite is going to be full on a glorious weekend like we had. So anyway, we did manage to find one over in Ledbury, and we had it was a country park. It was quiet. There were only about 8 or 9 other caravans and motorhomes there. There were ponds, there was a lovely little walk. It was beautiful. It was just lovely to get away, but we didn't even get there like until dinner time. So we kind of got there, had a bite to eat, and then sort of rolled the awning out and had a bit of a moochie round and tried to fathom everything out. Tried to fathom out the heating, which was a bit of a task. I mean, it was beyond me, but Jason was faffing with it. So anyway, we think we did get it sorted. We did wake up in the middle of the night, a bit chilly. Although I was hot in bed, it was chilly out, so we didn't have the heating turned up enough. So yeah, it's all trial and error. Okay, so this is my beautiful die cut piece. Now I'm going to chop it. I'm going to chop it up into a couple of pieces. So I want this large flower over here. So yeah, it was nice just to get away. We took Alfie, of course. He loved it. Just gets so excited though. He loved it. And then we came back Sunday morning, late morning, almost lunch actually. Let's just chop off. So we kind of know we're ready for when we get chance to go away for a weekend in it or whatever we're doing. I've not driven it yet, but I'm not worried about that. It's like driving a van. Even back in the day, we bought an RS motorhome that was had an Arctic cab on it, let's say, and a slide out. It was huge. I can't remember how big it was, about 35 foot, something like that. I don't know, it might have been longer. I used to drive that, no problem. And we're allowed to on a car licence, which is crazy. Yeah, I think I did get stuck down a lane once and had to manoeuvre and turn around, but I got myself out of it. So yeah, I'm not worried about driving it at all. I think it's about 7 metres. But quite honestly, it's like driving a van. Okay, so I'm just giving my flowers a little bit of life. So I like to curl my leaves up and then turn my flower down. So just using my trusty old bone folder, which has so many uses, and then we'll just turn this one just to give it a bit of life. Okay, so next, this layer here, I'm going to take my Pale Papaya ink pad and one of our blending brushes, and I'm just going to add some colour. So I start off the paper and then gradually move on, and I'm just going to build it up. So I like to pick up, I hope you can see, pick up in a circular motion, start on a circular motion on my scrap, and then just bring it on to the piece that I want to add the colour to. And just work in a circular motion, and obviously the more you go over it, the deeper the colour you will achieve, you will result in. Wasn't the right word. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the centre part a little soft. So just a little bit down there. Our blending brushes are fabulous. If you haven't got any yet, I need to double check whether they've come back in, because they came back in, but I don't know if they sold out again really quickly. They've been so popular. So can you see just how that adds? If I hold it up to there, can you see just how that's given my cardstock just that hint, shimmer of colour? Beautiful. Okay, what is next? Let's do a bit more stamping while I've got my mat here. Another product that I purchased on pre-order, another product that I'm in love with, the tailor-made tags. Honestly, this is going to just get so much use. I've been using it so much already since it arrived. So you've got 2 different styles of tags. You've got 4 of each size. It does actually sit inside there, but I've just laid them on so that they're separated a bit. And then you've got the one tag that has like a circular hole in it, and one that's got a little oval one there. And you've got the different like reinforcers that go on it. Okay, so they are stunning, and I'm using them in other ways as well. So think of this as a tag, but also think that if you stamped your greeting and you chopped off the ends, you've got a nice little stitched border top and bottom of your greeting panel. So I'm going to use this little beauty and these. You can use up that little scrap that I trimmed off earlier. And then I want to use this thanks word. I love the style of this font. And I'm just going to stamp it down. Now, I've just inked that in Memento. That will be okay for now. I was thinking of using the Evening Evergreen, but to be honest, the Evergreen is quite dark. It could pass for Memento. And then what I'm going to do is just cut this one out. Let's bring in my base plates. Just lay that one on. Line it up. So what did you guys get up to at the weekend? I'm just checking comments. Either you've all gone quiet or I'm not receiving comments. So if anyone's still there, just let me know that. If you could just type something, just so that I know my comments are still coming through. This one here I'm going to do in crumb cake. So let's just snip a bit off of there. And I love that it cuts 3 of these in one go. And let's just run that through. And cut those quickly. Lots of creaking going on. And then you'll see it cuts out these pieces there. Give it a drop and they'll fall out. So I've got those there. Get rid of you. And this lovely tag. Oh, you're still there. Good. Thank you, guys. Ruth, you spent the weekend in the garden. Yeah, I know. It was lovely, wasn't it? Got to make the most of the fresh air. I did look. Jason said there was rain coming in. Look at that. Love it. Jason said there was rain coming in tomorrow, but when I've looked today, I think it's going to be coming in later on here. So, I mean, the gardens need it. I'll be thankful for the water butts to get a bit of a refill. The grass needs it for sure, the lawns. So, but I think it'll be a bit of a shock to us all, won't it? Because we've had such a glorious spell of weather here in the UK. So, Ellie, you're cleaning out the piggest while watching. Of course, multitasking. That's what we're good at, hey? Kate, you did a bit of gardening at the weekend. You met with some friends. That's lovely. And you did some general bits and bobs pottering around, I expect. Yeah, fabulous. Felt like the weekend just went too quickly this weekend. Right, let's attach I was going to say a teeny bit, and then Tombo decided that it was going to give me a larger blob. When I'm sticking these on, I just pop on a spot of glue. That's probably a bit much, but just top and bottom of the hole, and then just lay the reinforcer on, and then try and get it straight like that, and then give it a press when it's in place. So that's our little tag with the reinforced hole, which I just love. So cute. So cute. Okay, I think we are ready to start putting the card together. So we've got these elements here. And we've got some more pieces here, some DSP, and of course the lovely bark embossed layer. So we'll start with our base. Now this card is going to be in landscape, so like a tent fold. And we're going to start off by popping the bark layer down. Now remember, when you're adhering an embossed layer, you might want to just add a bit more glue to make sure it sticks, because you've got obviously not a flat surface that you're adhering. The other thing to remember, and I should have checked this before I put the glue, when you emboss, can you see this layer should have had a nice even border all the way around? I mean, that might not bother some of you, it bothers me slightly, but where it's embossed it shrank the length, the width here. So I'm not too bothered by that, but bear that in mind before you stick things down. Sometimes check. Kate, you should have been going to Rachel's garden today, but Clara's not well. Oh, sorry to hear that. You're going to have a FaceTime picnic. That's a fun idea. That's a fun idea. I do love that we can connect virtually and still see each other. So these two layers, I'm going to literally pop a bit of Tombow in the middle, and I'm going to stagger these just so the soft succulent shows up underneath like that. And then I'm going to pop this down right in the center of my card, and the layer on top, so the basic white layer that I blended, is going to be straight. Okay, so that it's parallel with the bark. Okay, bit of Tombow escaping. I think that's straight. Job to tell. Okay. Next, I'm going to take these two strips. Now I have just cut, because this paper is 6 by 6, I quite often just cut a strip of any random width, and then I'll chop it in half at 3, which means I've got the other half of this strip to use on another card. And for this card it works perfectly because I don't need anything any longer. Hello Janet, how are you? Sorry to get your hopes up about my retreat in November, which is actually in October. But hopefully maybe we could get together in November. I will have a chat with you, see when you're coming, and maybe I can put on an event here. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to hold events here in my studio by November. We can only hope that, can't we, guys? You're in your craft room, Janet. Our weather's caught up with you. It's glorious 22 degrees there right now. Oh, you lucky devil. and you're loving your new home. I know, those of you that know, I don't go on Facebook very often. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I use it purely for my business, and on my personal page I like to share other businesses as well. But I did see, Janet, you popped up at the top of my feed on my notifications. Did see your beautiful new home. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. So I'm just popping some Tombow on the back of these layers and just sticking those down, just overlapping slightly. Got Tombow under my nail. Let's have a quick drink. You're going to be hosting some craft sessions from September. Fabulous. That's exciting. Okay, this lovely little tag, let's pop a couple of dimensionals on the back and raise it up a bit. Now, I kind of portrayed this card as being simple. Hashtag simple stamping. I'm not very good at that, am I? But it's kind of basic, and I'm going to show you a stepped up version after. And then literally all we're going to do now is pop some dimensionals behind these flowers. And we're going to pop one, excuse me, over here. Definitely got a frog in my throat today. Pop one over here. Pull off the backs. Oops, that one didn't want to come. And have some leaves coming up that way. So it looks a little bit rough on, actually, I can see a rough edge before I stick that down. Just going to smooth that off a little bit because that will show, but these rough edges I'm going to cover over with the other flower. And I think I'll just wedge that in like that. And there we go. That's about as simple as I get. But it's not, you know, one layer stamping. That would be simple. I can do simpler. I will promise to try and do some simple stamping with you where we create backgrounds and things using this set. So the set has got so many possibilities just for creating backgrounds. It's perfect. Got some lovely greetings as well. I love that one there. Anything is possible, and that's so true. Thank you, Belle. So to finish, because this one is quite straightforward, I thought I would add a bit of Wink of Stella just to the petals, which you're not going to see. I'll bring in the one I did earlier and hopefully you might be able to see. If you haven't got one of these, guys, you need to add it to your next order because it does just lift your projects. I don't know. Let me bring in my other one because it's dried. I don't know if you'll see the wink. I can see it in person. But yeah, so quite straightforward in my world. Some simple stamping really, because we literally inked up this one, the large image, and we used the stamps to infill the colour. So no tricky colouring. It was easy to colour in this image. So I wanted to just show a different way of using that image rather than having it as one whole stamp. Thank you, Stephanie. That's kind of you to say so. Okay, let me do the next project. How are we doing for time? Because I'm way over time. Way over time. So, same card, but we're going to step it up a bit. I've done a little bit of work already for this, as you have seen. So, let us do our bit of blending. Is that on there? Let's use that side. So I'm going to bring back in the pale papaya. Thank you everyone for your love. And again, circular motion, starting off and bringing it on. Give it a turn, pick up some more ink. Oh look, I've got a finger splodge. Let me have a think. I'll be able to cover that up. Not a problem, just one of those little happy accidents. I could use the other side, but I don't need to. So just adding in some colour. Such a simple kind of technique. Oh, I'm going to turn over. Let's wipe my fingers. It's when this is what I'm doing. When I'm holding on to here, I'm touching the ink. So I need to be more careful. Now I'm super conscious. I'm going to put fingerprints everywhere. So if you are loving this stamp set, you can't get it until the 4th. But maybe you might want to book onto a class, because in between now and May, the end of May, I'm going to be showing you lots and lots of different projects using this stamp set and the Flowers of Friendship bundle, so that if you purchase a class from me, you will have so many ideas of how you can use these stamps that you are going to feel that you have plenty to do with them. Okay, that will do for now. It's she says, a little bit lopsided. It's a bit darker on the other side. There was a little bit of a fleck on there, but I'm going to be covering that over. Hello from Norfolk. Hello. How do I pronounce your name? Zaina? Zana? Zaina? Lovely to have you join us. Kate, you might have to run and prepare your picnic. Of course, honey. You can catch up later. The other card is just a stepped up version, so there's a little bit more to it. But thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you on. Okay, so this card is going to come together a little bit quicker because I've already prepared some bits. So I've already ran this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So those of you that weren't here earlier, this uses the bark embossing folder. It's beautiful. It's going to suit so many projects. Going to get a lot of use out of it. Now I'm not going to pop it down on this layer like I did last time, because I'm going to add some extra things. So I've cut another piece of the designer series paper in the pale papaya, and I've also used that die. Let's bring this back in. So from the Penned Flowers, I've used this die and cut myself a lovely scallop and stitch. I mean, a girl's dream, a scallop and a stitch. Cut this little border. I'm going to pop some glue just along the edge, like that. Which side? I'm going to use that side. And I'm hiding up the stitch because there's a lot going on, so I just want a small border under here. So I'm covering over the stitch for now. If you have left it too late to book for my catalogue launch on Saturday, which it is too late, you can still purchase the online only version, which means you can come and catch up with the live. It means you don't have your catalogue or your kits, but you can watch me create. That's over on my events website, which is simplyprettystudio.kerrytims.co.uk. You can book on for that still, so there's still time to do that. So this layer is going to stick onto my bark. I'm going to have a bit overhanging, so let's just run some Tombow around the edge. And lay that one down with a nice even scallop at the bottom if that makes sense. So try and have, when I'm doing things like this, I try and have an even overhang. Looks a bit wonk from where I'm standing. Definitely looks a bit wonk. It's just my eye, I think. So you can see I've got a lot overhanging, but I'm just going to snip that off nice and close. You could pop this in your trimmer to do this. Bit of Tombow on there. I have to clean my scissors after. So we just end up, can you see what I mean? We've got like a nice even scallop at either end. And then let's bring in some of this gorgeousness. So this is the Pale Papaya. It's the woven ribbon. It's beautiful. It's got a lovely white edge on it. And I'm just going to cut a strip that's long enough to fold over the ends. And I'm going to lay that down at the bottom. So I want a couple of glue dots. I'm just going to pick them up and put them behind there, so that when I turn it over you can see I've just got a couple of glue dots there ready to hold my ribbon in place. And we'll have it just above the bottom. And pull it quite taut. Don't want it baggy. Don't want it baggy and saggy. Like that. Maybe you want to come down a little bit. Okay. Now we can pop this down onto our base, because we've got all our pieces wrapped around. We've got edges trimmed off. I always like to put a little bit of glue on the ribbon. The reason I like to use a glue dot is because it's quick. You can adhere ribbon down with Tombow, but it will just take longer to dry. And sometimes, I don't know if you found this from experience, but the ribbon just absorbs the glue and then it kind of goes a funny colour and dries funny. So I like to add the glue to the back, and there's no adhesive under here. It honestly doesn't need it because I'm popping layers over the top. If you needed to glue this down, I would just pop maybe a glue dot under the centre just to keep it in place. Okay, so these two layers again, just a bit of random Tombow in the middle, and we'll just stagger them so that the succulent is showing from the behind. Bye, Kate. Take care, my lovely. Yeah, see you on Saturday morning for the catalogue launch. Virtual, of course. Let's hope your delivery doesn't take up time, because we'll be having a bit of a break in between it. A little bit of a break. Okay, so this layer can now go down onto my card base. So Tombow around the edge. Oh, we've gone a bit wonky. Sorry, guys. Grid paper's on a slip. And I want this to be the same again. So the layer that I've used, that I've blended with the brush, so this layer is parallel with the top, and then that makes the soft succulent layer on a wonk, on a crook. Okay, so that's just going down like that. Actually, I know I've just stuck that. That could have been a mistake. I want to go a little bit lower. Tint a bit lower. just because I want to get to the ribbon. I want it to touch the ribbon. That's fine. All is good. So we've just got that. I love this effect. The blending brushes are just brilliant. Next, we can pop on these 2 layers. So these are the other half of the strip that I cut. Bit of Tombow on the back. Oh, let's pop this one first. Just clean off the edge of my Tombow. A little bit of Tombow in the middle. And we'll have that one just overhanging on the end. And then add on the Evening Evergreen piece. Oop! It's all moving. Like that. So we're adding up the layers now. Next we need to stamp ourselves another tag. There's a scrappy bit here. So do that really quickly. Should have had breakfast before I came on today. And just going to cut this one, run it through really quickly, like that. It's looking very much like rain out there at the moment. Pull that off carefully because I don't want to tear it. And then I've got a couple of these left, so just a teeny weeny bit of Tombow, if that's possible. Just to pop that one on and then just straighten it up. Make sure it's over the little hole. And then just add on a couple of dimensionals. And I'm going to lay that one exactly like I did before. Just pop that one in. This corner is going to be hidden by my flowers, like that. So next, I'm going to trim the flowers again. So this is the one that I did earlier while you were watching. So just cut around the large flower to start with. Being conscious about the flowers that are being left behind, because I will be using some of those. So we've got one large one. Then this medium-sized one. Just try not to get such a sharp edge on this one as I did on the last. Oop, I don't know if I'm going out of shot. Apologies if I did. And then this one here, we'll just trim off. Around the edge, just to smooth it off. Like that. I know you've kind of got like a half a flower here, but it's not really noticeable. And let's just curl up the leaves and turn down the flowers. And then we're nearly done. I need to quickly show you a couple of other things as well before I go. So let's add some dimensionals to the back. You could stick these down flat if you wanted to, just a bit of glue in the middle. They would still kind of have that dome effect if you just popped a bit of glue and not completely covered them. So we'll have you over here, and then as we did before, we'll pop one up here in the top corner. and then the other one just next to it. Just tuck it under a bit, or just pop it over the top. No, just tuck it under. That will do. That will do nicely. And then to finish, I thought I would use some of the Champagne Basic Jewels. Now, I do have some lovely new embellishments, but for this project, I thought these would look just lovely. So grab my take your pick, and we'll do this one first. And pop a couple, move over a bit. Oh, sticking to it now. And a couple of small ones. It's going to be quite lively, this card, compared to, I have a medium size one and a couple of small ones. So compared to the first card, you're going to see they're exactly the same, but just this one is slightly more stepped up with a bit of extra bling on it. Okay. And there we go. We're done. So I've just added in, I've stepped it up by adding in the die cut border, some extra DSP, and then the flowers, I've added the rhinestones. Let's bring in the original. Let's just pop those down and see while I tidy away a bit, see whether they are in shot. And you can see just slightly stepped up version by adding in a bit more product. Not convinced you can see them that way. Having a little drink. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I've loved creating. I've got 2 more projects that are using this same layout. So exactly the same sketch. I've got 2 more cards, but I'm going to save those and hoping that I can come back in a couple of days and I'll go live again. But I will let you know when I'm coming on. I'll advertise it a bit earlier so that hopefully you can catch up with me live. So those are the hand penned. As I've said, if you're loving this stamp set, you can't get it just yet, but maybe you'd want to book onto one of my classes. And you're going to get extra, lots and lots of inspiration to create with this stamp set. I promised I'd just share with you details of my 6-card class. So if you've not booked for my 6-card class in the post, there is still time. You've got until tomorrow. It includes 6 6x4 sheets of the Hand-Penned Petals DSP. So this is a new sneak peek. Okay, so you'll get that. You'll get your 6 pre-cut card kits. And again, I'm focusing on the Hand-Penned Petals stamp set. So here's a little sneak peek of one of the cards. Okay, so that's £12 for this kit. Everything is pre-cut. You're not just getting sheets of cardstock. You will get all your die-cut pieces, all your embossed layers. The only thing you will be cutting is your DSP. Okay, and I've got a feeling some of you might be fussy cutting some of these out in place of what I'm doing. So fabulous. And then I just thought I'd share with you my virtual swap for our recent Stampin' Up event. We got sent this stamp set, those of us who booked on for the event, and which I probably wouldn't have chosen it straight away. Not that I don't love it, but it wasn't one of things that was at the top of my list. But we had to do a virtual swap. Now, there was a problem with a lot of these stamp sets, something to do, I think, mainly with this image. It just wasn't stamping properly. So Stampin' Up will not be having this available when the new catalogue goes live. So those of you that might have earmarked this one, it's not going to be available yet. I don't know whether they're going to do something with it or whether it's just never going to be available again. I honestly don't know. If anybody else knows, you can pipe up and let me know. But this is my card I made for my virtual swap. And you know what? It just, playing with it, sometimes you see you see something and you look at it and you're like, no, that's not for me. You have to like play with it or see something done with it. So I kind of grunged it out a bit. I fussy cut the bird, and everyone's saying this is a moth. I thought it was a butterfly, and did a bit of splatting with my marker pen. So I use my early espresso marker to do this, and I literally pull off the lid, and then on the brush tip I flick off of the lid, off of the cap, flick it onto my project. So yeah, that's what I created with that. Now I think because we're out of time, I'm gonna have to show you a quick look. I'm reaching for it inside here because I promised. So it's literally going to be a sneak of what's inside. I've not had time to play with it. So this is the Paper Pumpkin Bouquet of Hope. This is a limited time offering. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. I don't think that worked very well. It's £20. It's available now. I am planning to do a class with this month. So let's have just a quick look inside. Not had time to play with it or do anything with it. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the designs that have been created for me. I will probably do something totally different. I think just because I'm not a fan of this gold. I love the colours that are in it. I think it's really great. I don't know what you're going to be able to see in here, but it is so pretty. So in here, I'm just going to show you what you get inside, and then I'm going to run away and have breakfast and leave you all to your morning. So we get a lovely sheet of dimensionals, which are really handy. We also get some glue dots as well, little mini glue dots. Okay, so you've got some basic tools in there, and you get a Mossy Meadow stamping spot. Okay, so to do your stamping. We've also got some lovely adhesive sequins and some twine in here in Mossy Meadow as well. You've got enough product in here to make 9 cards. Got these lovely lined envelopes. They haven't got a liner on, they're already printed on to the inside of the envelope. So you can use these as they are, or you could be like me and cut them all up and do something totally different with them. So that's what I will be doing at my class. So if you purchase this kit, I will probably give you an exclusive link to the class as well. So there we go. So that is the envelopes, the stamp set, which is lovely. Which way round can I read it? So we've got some greetings in here. I'll always be here for you. Sharing in your sorrow, thinking of you, and wish I could be there to hold your hand. That one would be really good chopped up. So you could use just sharing in your sorrow. I mean, don't chop up your stamp, but you could stamp it and then chop up what you've inked. Thinking of you, wish I could be there. We've also got sorry for your loss. So very appropriate for the moment. I think you're going to find use for these images. We've got these cute little flowers which are great for backgrounds, and some little leaves that go with it as well. And then this gorgeous bouquet of flowers which is screaming out to be coloured in with whatever medium you have. For me it would probably be the Stampin' Blends, because our pens are just great for that. But you could stamp that onto coloured cardstock and make it quick, really quick and simple to finish. So that's the stamp set that comes in it. Then you've got these foiled layers which are very pretty, but just a bit gold, too gold for me. So I will be using the reverse side. They are just pretty, really, really pretty. So you've got 3 of those. You've got 3 sheets of this greeting here, thinking of you. So these are sticky backed. There are instructions in here on the best way to get these off. And you can also use the negative that's left as well. So they're just sticky like cardstock stickers. Okay, so obviously you've got French and German in there as well that you may not use, but you may have relatives or friends that you could send those to. You've got these lovely vellum foiled sheets. You could use them on the reverse with the white, but they're gold on the front, so they're really lovely. I'm going to be chopping into those, I think. Got some lovely die cut pieces that are pre-coloured for you. So you've got 3 of those. And the card bases. And there's also a lovely sheet of die cut labels as well. The card bases are gorgeous. So we've got Merry Merlot, or Merry Merlot, whatever you like. I would say Rococo Rose. I've not actually invested in what the colours are. And this looks very just jade to me. Okay. So really, really pretty. For me, I think I'm going to be chopping that up and making my own card base to add those on. So anyway, that was just a quick peek into there. I will do another live once I get creating with this, which won't be today. I've got way too many other things to be catching up on. But once I get creating, I'll be sharing with you. So much in this kit. It's £20. And remember, once you've used all the consumables, you've still got your ink pad that you can use, and you've got your stamp set as well. So lovely box of goodness. Who wouldn't like to receive that? And what a beautiful gift this would make as well. So that's it for me. Let us bring back in the cards to leave you with. Just love this colour combo. So thank you so much all for joining me today. Thank you for your lovely comments. And thank you for brightening my day and sharing my morning with me. So I'm going to head back over to the bar now, grab myself some breakfast, and then get stuck into some more work. And I say work, it's play really, isn't it? But don't tell Jason that. So yeah, so if you want to know anything about anything I've shared today, please do get in touch with me. You can message me, email me, give me a call. Just get in touch if you've got any queries. So thank you again for stopping by. Take care, everybody, whilst you're out on your travels, and I will be back with you very, very soon. So bye for now.